Previously on the Lineage of Moonreach. So we got to the Feywild and we met Dreg, who evidently has a past with Pinwin and trained Pinwin and Pinwin's father. I tried to get some information on the Hellhound that we got from Dreg. He said it was from the Abyssal Plane. And we tried to come up with a plan of attack going forward and regrettably have to kind of put Hirstag on the back burner. We got the bright idea to put this jewel that I found in my pack in the construct, and it turns out that Mandorin had put his consciousness into this stone, and we were able to speak with that version of him from that moment in time with his memories, and he was able to give us a bunch of information about alternate timeline, why Aro seemingly has this grudge against us, and that, oh yeah, he's my dad. We got the bright idea to rescue Varolus from the Starlight Plane, and Tomar had that vial of youth, essentially, that we gave to him, and now Varolus is youthful and hopefully is going to be a huge help in bringing down Calcifer and the Council and putting things right again.
The D20 Syndicate presents The Lineage of Moonreach.
Never gonna forget that one again.
Cold.
Welcome back to the D20 Syndicate podcast.
Hey, glitches!
The second episode of 2020.
Woo!
D20.
D20 to 20?
Less impressive now
Yeah.
that we're in.
I'm going to do it the entire year. The 16th episode. So we are a Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play podcast. I am your host and DM, Seth. And around the table, we have our players.
I'm Billy, and I play Willem.
I'm Tomas. I play Tomar.
I'm Lindsey, and I play Pinwin.
And I'm Michaela, and I play Gorbel.
That's right. Each week we play Dungeons & Dragons and record it for your listening pleasure. This is episode 71. Guys, we were at 71. We did it.
Woo!
Yes.
Shut it
not
down.
as impressive as 69, of course, but which was hilarious. We didn't stop laughing the entire time.
Yeah, why are we still counting? That was it.
Yeah.
Just start over at 1 so we can get to
69 plus
69
2.
again.
Yeah.
We're supposed to wait till 420.
Yes.
That's what we're waiting
yes,
for.
that's our next
Oh,
milestone.
that's right.
Can't wait.
And
What if we do like a time capsule where we record an episode where we pretend like it's 420, and then when we get to 420, we'll see if it's still worthy or not.
okay. Yeah, put a pin in that, but
I don't listen to Dr. Dre anymore. This is way inaccurate.
The original Chronic is far superior.
I look like a fool. Yeah, so
I really regret that Machine Gun Kelly tattoo.
on my face.
That 21 Pilots where the O and 1 is my buttle.
But yeah, so that's what we do, and we are in the middle of a campaign of kind of a lot of crazy shit's going on. So if this is your first episode, please go back to episode 1, Gunky Evil. You will be so confused otherwise. This is a sequential podcast, so you're going to be kind of out of the loop if you start here.
What if someone didn't know until just now, and they're like, oh.
They started at like 38. They were just like, man, I thought I was just winging it.
They thought it was like Memento.
Especially like last episode with the timelines. Like, oh, now it makes sense why I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Good times.
Good times. Those of you listening, please make sure to check out our social media platforms and check out our Patreon. We've got, if you like what you hear, you can consider donating to it. We've got a bunch of cool shit for our tiers. Please check that out. Check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our Discord if you join as a patron. So just always want to give a shout out to you who have already donated. Thank you so much. And I hope you continue. Anyway, let's get started with the Around the Campfire question. So this is what we do every single episode. I ask a question, and they respond typically in character. Usually it's either an element of lore in the world or how they personally feel, or just like a general existential dread question. This week's question is going to be, I am going to say your name, and then I'm going to give you another character's name, and you are going to tell me your favorite thing about that character, and also your least favorite thing about that character.
Did we do this?
No.
This
What did
seems
we do?
mean-spirited.
All right, so we're going to start with Pinwin. I want you to tell me your favorite thing about Tomar and your least favorite thing about Tomar.
I feel nothing about Tomas.
Actually, yeah. Okay, so my favorite thing about Tomar is that he really is such a loyal friend, and he's been so kind and helpful, and I don't know, I just love him. He's awesome. Only thing I dislike is like when he's cranky, Tomar, and he's like that one time when he yelled at me when he was like being moody in that field. That I don't like cranky Tomar, and I mean, part of me feels like maybe he could dial it back on the Craig stuff, but I mean, it gets a bit much. But I mean, he also Craig has helped us here and there, so I mean, I guess he can do his own thing. But I mean, overall, he's a win in my book.
Great answer, Pinwin. Willem, I would like you to answer this question about Gorbel.
The thing that I like most about Gorbel is that she's reliable. You can always count on Gorbel to be Gorbel and not really surprise you. And I know that sounds like it has a negative connotation, but it's very comforting to know that you can always count on Gorbel to be Gorbel. My least favorite thing about Gorbel is kind of the same thing. It's a double-edged sword. And so when Gorbel does the Gorbel thing, such as running into a burning building without second thought, it makes things complicated. But at the same time, her heart's almost always in the right place, and I like being able to rely on that.
Very nice. Tomar, tell me your favorite and least favorite thing about Willem.
I think Willem is very self-sufficient. Like, I don't usually have to worry about, is Willem going to be okay? Is he in trouble? He usually has his shit figured out for himself. I definitely don't like the times that we butt heads. I'm used to being the main planner, I guess, the tactician of the group. So when someone has dissenting opinions, then it throws me for a loop. So usually that's mostly a Willem thing.
Very nice. Gorbel, tell me your favorite and least favorite thing about Pinwin.
Totally racist.
Is that the favorite or least?
He's racist towards the same races that I hate. And I appreciate that.
I can get behind that.
I feel like Pinwin is my fun buddy. Like, I know Pinwin and I are going to have a good time. I know we're going to have a great party. I know we're going to have a great performance. And I genuinely trust Pinwin. I know that's kind of a few things. But Pinwin's just pure of soul. I love that.
Yes.
Pinwin also cannot focus. And sometimes I just want to pick him up and throw him in my pack and just make him like go along with it.
Very nice. All right. Well, let's start, guys. What do you think? Should we do it?
Yeah, okay.
You guys are now being transported to the world of Argaria.
Ow!
It's pointy.
What's that smell?
Oh, that's Argaria.
Bootsy, baby.
Nasty
We call that
fishing
the Argaroma. So, when we last left off, you guys were in the Feywild, having just reunited with Varolus. However, as you guys were preparing to enact your next portion of the plan, Varolus mentioned you guys might want to check out the right outside the Feywild because it's something you're going to want to take care of. And that's where we are.
Okay.
Something we have to take care of, like, bad?
Immediately, I would say.
It's a box of puppies.
Dangerous?
Is my family okay?
Is it a happy
It
surprise?
does concern your family, Pinwin.
Oh, come on.
Did they get kidnapped again?
Question, didn't we leave them hours ago? Like, we
Yes.
traveled further into the forest,
Yeah, you left them hours ago.
so they shouldn't even be outside.
Plus, they're supposed to be hidden by the Fey people because they said they were going to do that.
Well, what the fuck?
Is the Feywild a fixed location, though, or is that more of like a pocket reality?
Looking at the wrong dude, Willem. Dreg?
Well, it's it's kind of it exists alongside it, but it's also kind of like it is kind of a pocket, but not a pocket. It's kind of an inside-out pocket, if you will. It's you can go to a spot.
It's a prolapsed pocket.
It's a prolapsed pocket. That would be an interesting way to put it. Not the way I would put it if I was me, which I am. But if you, I think you're gonna want to go outside. It's a bit outside of my realm.
Can you tell us, like, hints, clues, something?
There's
Also,
a person out there who knows you, Pinwin, and says it's urgent. You got to talk to him.
Can we peek?
I mean, you can peek if you want.
Or is it like an all-in, all-out situation
You just
here?
stick an eyeball out.
It's just floating there like a baby beholder.
If I, like, take a paper...
I would say
paper
that
towel
time is
tube,
of the
can I-
essence, though. So
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But were they not covered up? Weren't you going to have them hidden?
they're hidden.
They're hidden, but they're not safe.
You're
Yeah,
giving us very few
now-
details.
Okay, let's go.
I'm not allowed to say.
Can you stick with us, though, in case we resolve this and then we have to get back to where we were before?
Yeah, I can lead you, but I think Varolus is gonna have to hang out here for just a minute. I'm very weak from plane sickness. I don't imagine that this will take
Yeah, been there.
overly long, but you're going to want to go outside.
Yeah. Okay.
Wouldn't it be fun if he still had the same old turtle voice?
I debated that, but I was like, hey, a little bit younger.
Okay, let's
And
go.
Dreg leads you guys towards the path.
You guys coming or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he leads you down the path, and after a few moments, it widens out, and you guys are standing back in the forest. And Pinwin, you see a familiar face standing there in like gray and white robes, a halfling. It is Luck Dornbush, who you remember as basically Aster's like pupil. Aster was training him in the faith, and he's standing there with a very grave expression on his face.
What's going on?
Hello, Pinwin.
Hi.
Well, after everything got cleared out and we moved aside the rubble, I thought you would want to know that there have been some people that didn't make it.
Didn't make it from clearing the rubble?
No,
Cleaning's a bitch.
Place a hand on Pinwin's shoulder.
no, from the attack.
Who didn't make it?
Well, why don't you come along and we can talk about it more? The villagers will be gathering. We're going to send them off.
Okay.
There's also, this is a bit of a touchy subject, but they're thinking of killing my mother for her part in the Inquisition coming to the village.
Who's your mother?
Marley.
Marley and Marley,
The one that spotted Pinwin, basically.
the master of coin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to that decision.
Yeah. That was kind of dickish.
Are you saying that in front
no,
of them?
I'm not. I'm thinking that. Yeah, that fucking serves her right. But that's too bad. Is my family okay?
Yes, I think one of your cousins was killed in the conflict, but
No.
yes, Zelena Humble. She's
The Humbles are just going down in droves, man. Just killing them off.
Oh, Sally.
First Arlie, now Zelly.
But my mom and my brothers and my sisters, they're all okay?
Yes, these are people we found after the fact.
Okay, well, yeah, we should go.
I just wanted to do my due diligence and tell you about it. I know you have important things, but, we're going to be performing the funeral rites.
Can you tell us who the people are who died?
I don't have a full list, but I know that a few of them were, Thurgood Weathersby is dead. There's Baird Gardenwall. He's also dead, and his daughter Tessa Gardenwall. They're both dead. There's a few others, but you'll see the rest of them.
Okay. Huh. So people died. Well,
Yeah, but like, that was like super important.
but does that make it bad? Like it's.
Do-
I mean,
what-
yes,
what-
but
so-
no. But
So our little company of wolves here, how many days of bereavement do we get for a cousin?
I need to know, like, right now.
I gotta file that paperwork.
Are you coming?
yeah, we should.
Maybe we should just talk logistics here for a second. If you could
I'll
give us a moment.
I'll wait in the village, but don't miss it.
And he walks off.
You're not going to want to miss this.
It's going to be dope.
It's gonna be the best funeral of 2020.
Is it typical for people to abandon, huge adventures and really important shit to go back for funerals of people they hadn't seen in years?
Second cousins.
I mean, while we're here,
I'm not trying to be
Twice
insensitive.
You guys are making a lot of assumptions about Pinwin's cousin. It could have been his closest cousin.
Perhaps, but Pinwin didn't seem distraught. Maybe Pinwin's tougher than we thought. I don't know. Pinwin.
I'm still processing everything. We don't have people die in Shadeholm much, so it's kind of it's a lot for my brain right now, just thinking that anyone is gone. So I feel like I would like to pay respects and go to the funeral rites and do the whole thing, and I just won't stay and drink. We'll just go. Yeah,
That's
don't-
fair. I have suspicions.
Suspicions.
That dude is the son of.
Aster.
No.
No, what did you say?
Marley.
Wait, was I even around when we
I
found that
thought you
Shazadid?
said his dad was Aster.
no.
Oh no, he
fuck.
was Aster's pupil. There we go.
God damn
Yeah.
it! Now I can't metagame.
Yeah.
But I'm still suspicious. Before I knew that, I am very suspicious of someone calling us back there right now
Why?
because the Inquisition was just there. It would seem like an ideal time while they're vulnerable to come back in.
Dreg said they
Well,
had
then
it
that-
hidden. That
And if
he
it-
just said that.
And if it is the case,
It's
that-
hidden. And he closes his eyes. I'm not seeing any, like, soldiers or anything there.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if it is the case that soldiers are back there, then I mean, if I were Pinwin, I know I would want to go back. And
Right. I
clear
do
that
want to
shit out
double
again.
check and make
can-
sure.
We can go back.
We just won't stay
just
a
be
long time
cautious.
because we
let's be
are
cautious.
Yeah,
we
just go
are
ahead
in a
and,
hurry.
Get your
So-
crossbow out.
Yeah, we'll just check it out. We'll stay for a second and then we'll go back to Deepminster. Will we get there in time?
We'll just pop in, say our goodbyes, bye
Mm-hmm.
bye, and then head out.
And make sure that they're okay.
Stay away from the chatty ants.
How long are our funerals in Shadeholm?
45 days.
They're short affairs.
Yeah.
They just throw them up to the gliders, and they just
Here
get
you go,
torn
buddy.
apart.
Eat them like corn on the cob. Throw the bones back. Well, that's it.
After you, I don't know how to get back there.
Yeah.
Lead the way. Follow your nose. Follow your nose. Follow your.
But then, because we're gonna need him, and we'll need Verolis.
They're still gonna be here.
I'm right here, Pinwin.
You're gonna stay here?
I'll come with you guys.
Okay, thank
I never
you.
seen a halfling funeral before, so I'm a little interested.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go.
All right, so you guys head down the path, and you notice that you get down a certain ways, and then it's almost as if there's just a big gaping hole in front of you in the ground, as if it's like a big crater. And Dreg is like, "Oh yeah, sorry. This is the kind of one of the stages of protection I put up. It makes it look like it's just a big crater here, so that nobody comes closer. But we can walk through it. It's fine.
That's
And you guys are
idea.
under the protection, so the next barrier you can just walk right through. Anybody else that haven't given protection to, zap, they're going to be dead instantly."
Lead the way, Pinwin.
Okay.
So you guys head, you step a few more feet, and then it's like you've just walked through like a doorway. All of a sudden, it's the forest you remember, and off in the distance you can see the village, and you guys continue on, and you don't even notice when you pass that next barrier, but you go uninhibited to the village, and you see that off on the outside as you're getting close, on a rise up onto a little hill where there's a large copse of trees kind of segregated from the others, you can see that there is a crowd of halflings up there, and that is the traditional halfling burial site.
Okay.
So you guys head up there, and you can see the crowd going, and you can see that that Luck is standing ahead, and he looks out at you guys and nods to you, Pinwin. And as you guys approach, you can see that all the halflings are kind of holding on to each other, and some of them are a little teary-eyed, and some are drinking, and some are very stern-faced. And Pinwin, you can see that they have in the tradition they have soft furs kind of covering each form that's laying there, but their faces are uncovered, and they look very peaceful. And who you see first thing you see the very serious and strong countenance of Thurgood Weathersby, the commander of the Shadeholm cadets. And you see him laying there. You see a younger halfling named Horatio Bramblebracken, and you knew that he was an apprentice, zipliner. He helped craft these zip lines. Next to him, you see Baird Gardenwall, an older guy. He was always fairly good-natured. He was in the crafters guild and stuff, and he had done a lot for the village as far as building things. Anything that had to be built in Shadeholm was done by the Gardenwalls, and particularly him.
Is he related to Dela Gardenwall?
That is her father.
So is she also there?
She is not laying there. Next to him, though, is Tessa, Dela's younger sister, and she is she wasn't very old. She was just in early teens, but she's laying there next to her father. You see Sky Tumblestone, who is Yorda Tumblestone's sister, the healer. And then you see Shirkle Grasspot, Took Appleyard, and Cinty Larkfellow. You know that they were cadets. And then you see your cousin, Zally, laying there as well. And then at the very end, you see, and you recognize this face too, Willem, you see the form of Lumsa Dornbush, the one who had helped you the young one that had helped you when you entered the village. And they're all laid out there, and you can see that shallow sections have been carved out in front of the trees, as traditional burial sites. And Luck kind of stands there at the head of it, and very solemnly he addresses everyone and says, "Thank you all for making haste to do this. I know it's a time of rebuilding, but these are the rites we must perform in order to ensure that everything is done in the proper way. In lieu of Aster Goldbrook, whoever he may be, I will be performing the rites today, and with all of you as my witness. And if you would like, I can begin." And everybody kind of nods. And he says, I will give these resting, weary vessels to Erulan, whose principled measure vow of judgment will show your deeds to be true, so that you may enter into the Everlong Wood with all the valor that you deserve. And everybody mumbles, Erulan. And then he says, I give you to Neff, whose promise to safeguard our souls through the end of our lives will allow you to reach the next plane and the pathway to the Everlong Wood unblemished.
And you hear everybody mumble, Nef. And he says, finally, I give you to Ela, whose gift was this plane, that we should live and enjoy this life while we are here. And her final gift of the Everlong Wood shall comfort and delight forever. We now submit these vessels to the earth so that they may nourish the trees that nourish them in life. And several people come out and they pick up the bodies and they place them in the graves, and then they start to pile dirt over it, and people are kind of sad.
Feeling weird about this funeral process, I'm going to whisper under my breath, bathe in the light of others' work.
And after a little bit, everybody kind of moves away, and you can kind of hear some arguing, and you can see two halflings are like, well, now we need to deal with the traitors. We gotta kill him. And some of the other people are like, no, we're not gonna kill him. We're not gonna kill him. We gotta exile him. And so people start arguing, and your mother finds you, Pinwin. Pinwin, I'm not sure if you've heard, but it seems that they've kind of rooted out who kind of gave over our village in the first place to the soldiers. Marley Dornbush and Holman Shelby. They were the ones that conspired to give this village over. It's a difficult scenario because some in the village want to kill them and others want to exile them. And exile, as you know, is our traditional way, but because of the deaths that happened because of what they did, some people are calling for blood.
Yeah. We don't have a prison, right? Do we in Shadeholm?
I mean, probably
They
not.
probably
Yeah.
just exiled them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why would you exile someone who led people to your town in the first place?
What did they get out of working with the Inquisition?
We don't know. I was hoping that you could all talk to them and decide. I think the emotions are too high. Perhaps an impartial party.
That might be good because I don't want to just have them killed, but I also think they know where you all are, and I don't know their intentions after this, and I don't think we'd be safe just letting them go about either. So, but absolutely we can definitely interrogate them, right? Because, I mean, we can glean some information in general about...
Yeah, they might indirectly know about the other towns that we need to go to with the lineage stones.
Yeah, they may have been present at like some sort of meeting with the soldiers, and they might know insider information with the Inquisition.
What's our approach going to be?
Bad cop.
You're gonna be bad cop?
I'm just gonna throw Pinwin at them.
I don't need... you know. I mean, I was gonna say I don't need to be thrown, but it'd be a nice flare. It'd save my legs from the jump.
I'll just give you a light toss.
It sounds great. We'll just go in right with that.
Do you want to head directly there, or do you need to do something at this funeral? I don't know how they work.
So I think maybe it'd be good to say bye to my family, and then I just want to talk to someone really quick before I do that.
Okay.
Do I see Dela Garden Wall?
You do. She's kind of standing by the new burial mounds, and she's got tears streaming down her face.
Yeah.
This is what you get, bitch.
I'll walk over to Dela. Hi, Dela. I'm so sorry about what happened.
It's okay, Pinwin. I just can't believe that they're actually gone. The one of those blasts just wiped out a whole house. I was outside, otherwise I would have gone too.
Well, I'm...
Pinwin,
Yeah.
Are you staying here?
No, we've got to save other parts of the world and just the rest of the world in general. We're going to have to move really quick on some other things to make sure that everyone is safe and that there's not more deaths like this. I just wanted to make sure, I don't know, to tell you that I'm sorry. I went through my dad dying, and it's hard.
I understand, because I was thinking that this whole thing with the village and everything, it got me thinking about my future and stuff, and I thought maybe if you were interested, maybe you and I could perhaps I don't know, get married and have children. There's a lot less garden walls in this world.
Yep.
She like puts her hand on your shoulder and like looks into your eyes, like you can see the tears streaming, and she's just like looking very. Give me an insight check.
Lindsey, do you want to fill the audience in on who this is exactly?
I think she did in the past.
I know, but in case they don't remember, it's been a ton of episodes.
Yeah, in case you don't remember, so Dayla, I decided to profess my love to her in a song, and she didn't think I was interested at all in women, and so that went really, really bad. She kind of laughed because she thought I was kidding, and so this is kind of like what I wanted then. But if she hadn't done that, I think that was something that kind of drove me out of Shadeholm and probed me to go off adventuring. So, yeah, this is an interesting scenario here. But yeah, back into it. Well, I think maybe back when that might have been something that definitely could happen, and maybe in the future, but right now I can't promise myself to anyone just because we're doing so much, and I don't even know if I'll return. But
Definitely put a baby in there.
I think I think things will come together, and yeah, maybe in the future if I get a chance to settle down and I make it through these adventures. But I don't know, there's always hope of rebuilding. You'll get to rebuild, and I don't know.
And you can see her countenance kind of change as she looks at you, and she looks a lot more almost angry. Fine. And then she walks away from you.
I'll shrug and walk over to my family. Ooh. Okay, and I'll just come over and I'll give them all hugs and thank you for helping us to get back, and I don't know, I'm just so glad you all are okay, except for Zelly, but
Barley kind of he looks kind of, his countenance is very crestfallen, but he nods.
Pinwin, we all got together, and we all the group of us cadets, we want you to have this.
And he opens his pack and he takes out like a luxurious looking like leaf cape type thing. And he hands it to you, and you can see that there is the commander's badge on it.
This is Thurgood's, and we hope that it would probably be too much to ask for you to stay, but you're probably the strongest person in this village now, and other than me and Osmo. But the third's not bad. But we hope that maybe if you ever return, that you'd consider leading the Shadeholm cadets.
Just covered in blood.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, if I return, we've got to get a lot of stuff done.
That's right. You're not going to be able to be lazy and go dilly-dally.
No.
It's hard work. Look how tough we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Are there other secret trees that, I don't know about?
He kind of looks off.
Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
He like looks out of the corner of his eye at you.
I don't know. I guess you'll just have to find out.
All right. Yeah. Can I think about it?
Oh, yeah. We'll keep the position open.
Okay. I mean, like,
It's not like we could do anything
definitely
about it.
have someone, like, covering while I'm gone. Like,
Oh,
don't
yeah, that's a
not
great
have an
yeah, that's a
empty
great
cadet
idea. No,
spot. Like, whoa.
that's a great idea.
Okay, good. Just checking there. But, yeah. Thank you.
We all decided.
Cool.
And so you and your family say your goodbyes, and your mother lets you know that they're keeping both of the nefarious parties in Aster Goldbrook's house in separate rooms, and some of the Shadeholm cadets are guarding the rooms so they can't escape.
Okay. All right. Should we go interrogate? Are we ready?
I'm ready.
I'm always
I
ready.
think I'm ready now.
So
What a weird day.
So you guys head to Aster's, and some of you haven't been here before, but it's up in the trees, and it's a large house, and you can see the symbol of the three, the triangle with the circle in the center of it, kind of emblazoned on the outside. And you guys climb up the rope ladder and head inside to this very nice house that looks like it's been cleared out. And you can see that 2 different rooms down the hallway have a couple of soldiers hanging outside them, cadets hanging outside of them. And they kind of look at you, Pinwin, as you approach. And one of them, named Lolo, he he nods and he says,
You gonna question the prisoners then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, which one do you want to question first?
I think I kind of have a bone to pick with Marley a little bit.
all right. And they point to the worship sanctuary door, and 2 of the guards part, and they unlock the door, and they're like,
Whenever you're ready, you can let you in.
Okay. I'll look up at Willem.
I kind of pick Pinwin up by the scruff of his shirt and heave him right through the door.
okay. So Pinwin, you go flying through the door, and you see a very scared-looking Marley Dornbush crouched against the wall. Pinwin?
And I'm flying at her.
You run at her?
He threw me in.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm,
you go flying
jumping
right at her.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of this? Are you here to kill me?
Dare you tell on me?
Well, it all got out of hand, Pinwin.
What were you thinking, betraying Shadeholm?
What are you guys doing in this moment?
I walk in and block the doorway and just kind of fold my arms and look disapprovingly at her.
I slowly walk in and post up kind of a little ways away. I get my blade out. I'm casually holding it, trying to look really badass.
I'm going to take in the iconography of the place and get a feel for how it looks and stuff.
Gotcha. Willem and Gorbel, give me an intimidation roll. And also, I guess, Pinwin as well.
Okay. Oh, man.
15.
Okay.
15.
What up?
10.
Did
Okay.
you roll a 4 on your Elijah's?
No.
Oh.
That would have been weird, though.
That would have been.
So she shirks back as she sees you guys. I'm sorry, what was the question?
How could you betray Shadeholm and me?
Well, I didn't do it to betray anyone. I did it because I thought I was protecting the village.
Protecting the village by telling bad people where we are and letting them invade?
We had heard that your group was bad, and it would be in our best interest to protect the group.
Did you know who... You knew me before I went off adventuring, right?
Yes.
You thought I was bad?
Some people change. I don't know how power affects people. Have you seen Lumsa?
They didn't tell you about Lumsa?
No, what happened to Lumsa?
What do you think happens to Lumsa when you tell people who are bad where our village is?
She starts crying. What are you talking about, Pinwood?
This is too bad.
The little guy's dead. He's covered in lumps.
My lumps.
He's not covered in lumps.
Oh,
He's
dead.
yes. He died. They attacked. They sent this crazy thing in, and they attacked our village, which is what happens when you tell bad people about where our village is, and you tell them I'm here.
She just busts out crying, and she's just like, her head's just like pointed at the ground.
Marley, look. It's a really noble cause, and it was a completely understandable intent to try to protect your village. I think we can all agree to that. I wink at Pinwin.
Give me a persuasion roll.
I'm being good cop. You are. Which is good. Bad cop's feeling a little like salt in the wound right now.
33.
You are persuasive.
Okay. I didn't mean to do it. I used some funds to get to buy the soldiers here to get here because Holman asked me to, and it was his plan the whole time.
Were you working with someone directly?
Just Holman.
I want to roll insight on this.
Okay.
Okay. 20.
There were rumors back in the day that Holman and Marley, they were interested in each other. You seem that she seems to be telling the truth.
Okay. So it wasn't so it's more him running things and you just kind of supporting?
Well, yeah. Well, he runs things when his brother's out of town on the council, and I just believed him because I thought he had the best interest in heart.
I'm sorry about Lumpso. That is very sad. Oh man, what a pickle. Yeah.
Did you ever overhear any information from any of the Inquisition soldiers about their intent, where their leader might be, who their leader is now? Anything helpful?
I don't know who the leader is now, but I do know that Holman did meet with someone a few times, and it definitely seemed like they were here for two purposes. One was because there's something that we are in the Blue Valley, and there was something that originally went on a few years ago. Some portals opened up, and people were climbing out, and monsters of all kinds. And they believe that maybe if they posted up in enough villages here, that they could harness something. The other was to hope that you would return Pinwin so that they could capture you. And the others.
To what end?
The council seems to want you for some reason. I thought it was because you'd been ransacking villages and burning cities to the ground.
I'm gonna go start work on Holman. Bye.
Wait.
What?
I want to go. Bad cop doesn't work here.
It'll be better if I lead with the fact that Marley is essentially giving him up at this point, in case he is trying to hide information.
Okay, but when I'm done, I will continue bad cop in there.
Wait one. Give me just a second. Let's telepathic bond this shit.
What's the nature of this place, this temple or whatever it is?
So this is like the overreaching religion in Valtel is the three, and it is a temple room devoted to like small sanctuary worship. They have a larger church in town, but this is like Aster's personal, sanctuary. It's not very big. It's like a 10 by 10 room, and it's circular, and it's got like the iconography in it for the three. You can see the triangle with this circle or dot in the center, and it seems to be made of stone when everything else is made of wood. Does
it have any correlation at all to Warcrag in any way?
Give me a religion.
16.
You have heard mild, back in the day, some of the religious scholars in Valen would have mentioned that it's possible that there is a kind of a juxtaposition of Erulan, the one of the three, and the deity over like order and judgment and structure and builders, and Wirekarag being very similar in their function and perhaps had influenced each other, or perhaps were even the same.
Okay, so I'm going to try something.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Word of Recall.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is I'm basically designating a place as a sanctuary. By casting it within a location such as a temple dedicated to or strongly linked to your deity. If you attempt to cast the spell in this manner in an area that isn't dedicated to your deity, the spell has no effect. But basically, if I cast this here, I can cast the spell again. It'll take us right back here if we ever need to just instantly travel to here. So I'm going to try and just speak a word in Dwarven that means like hearth,
Okay.
and then see if it does anything to the room, like consecrates it or anything.
Okay. I would say that when you do that, because this is it's a very tenuous link to Wirekarag and may not even be accurate, and this is primarily used to worship the three, you would be unable to make a sanctuary here.
Okay.
All right.
What are you guys doing?
I just casted telepathic bond.
Okay. You guys are all linked.
All right, I'm going to go start working on Holman, see if we
Okay.
can get some information out of him.
Is anyone else going with him?
No, nobody else come with me at first.
Okay.
We got to mind game this fucker if he's trying to turtle up.
Okay.
Keep us in the know.
Yep.
So you exit the room, Willem, and you go to the other guarded room, and they let you pass, and you open the door, and you're back in that office kind of study that you were in before. But this time there is a board that's been hammered up over the window,
Okay.
and you see that there is this kind of slouched, for a halfling, very handsome man. You can tell he's probably kind of a lady killer there in the village. He's got short black hair, and he looks very confident. He's even despite the situation, he's wearing like a very, very well-to-do outfit. He looks like he might have some money.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I was expecting.
And as you enter, oh, hello.
Holman, I presume.
Yes. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
It's not important.
Oh, fair enough.
And I'll be asking the questions.
Oh, okay. I see. This is the dynamic we have. Carry on.
Your friend Marley has already given you up, so I'm going to need all the information that you got from the Inquisition, starting with who their leader is now, what their intent with Shadeholm was, and any other information about where they're posted up and what their plan is.
You say Marley has given me up. What did she tell you?
She let us know what a traitor you are and that you were working closely with the Inquisition.
I see. Well, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't even know I'm being held here. I'm being held against my will. The people are jealous of me in this town, and I think that's why. I think they took an opportunity to imprison me here.
Oh, thankfully we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about what you know about the Inquisition and what information you can give us about them.
I roll intimidate.
15. So I can just do the reliable talent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I believe you're confused because and he's like eyeing like all your weapons. I don't know what's going on. I am here for reasons I don't even know. I don't know what Marley thinks she's telling you, but it's not accurate.
Regardless of what is accurate coming out of her mouth, the next thing that I want to hear come out of your mouth is the information about the Inquisition.
Intimidation at advantage.
23.
I don't know much about the Inquisition. This is all Marley's idea. She wanted to profit from having, a wider trade group and having the soldiers on her side. And I helped her a bit. But she was the one who met with the Inquisition, not me.
All right, I'm going to think to the group. We got a he said, she said situation, and he's claiming that Marley was the one that was more closely affiliated with the Inquisition and working with them in a nefarious manner.
Did you roll insight?
Does it seem like he's...
Yeah, are you sure he's telling the truth?
Did you read his body language to see how truthful he may have been?
He's quivering and there's piss.
Pinwin, who stands more to gain by involving themselves with an outside influence?
It's honestly surprising to me that anyone thought this was okay and that anyone from Shadeholm would do something this evil. So, I don't know. This is weird. Unless one of them seems definitely... I mean, is he more slimy typically?
He looks and sounds way more
Sounds
slimy.
pretty slimy.
But the idea around town that you've gotten is that he's just kind of like a very cavalier,
He's just a
handsome
wealthy
roundabout.
fuck
Yeah,
boy.
he's on the council, and when his brother is the principal one on the council, his older brother,
Roscoe's dad?
yeah, Domeric. That's not Roscoe's
Domeric?
dad. Yeah, Domeric. It's his
Uncle?
Yeah, it's his uncle. And when he's in Yas, he's on like the
Yas.
he's in the council in Yas for like every village elects their representative and goes there to discuss issues. He's usually there, so his brother is his proxy seat on the council here. So, but yeah, it would be surprising that any of this was going on because it seems like such a nice place that everybody seems to mostly get along.
And she's mostly just like in charge of money and finances, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be a potential person that would benefit.
Yeah, she's kind of
Someone
more
with
the little
finances?
finger, and he's more of the
Big dick.
big swinging dick.
Gross.
I mean, he also has a big...
Dick.
I mean, he's
Where are you going with that,
a big
Pinwin?
drive for power. Like,
Big dick for power.
I mean, he's climbed his way up in the village. I mean,
Big dick for power.
he
2020.
has good family that just happened to work
Why don't
out,
we just
but-
tell them we're going to kill them because the halflings want us to if they don't spill the beans?
I'm very okay with that.
And that we're going to kill the most guilty one, and they need to tell us they need to tell us.
Well, I mean, at
They
that
need to-
point,
they
then they're
need to
just going to start
convince-
pointing fingers at each other anyway.
Yeah, but we want them to tell us as much as information as they know about the other one.
That's where I was going to go anyway with her. Because,
Yeah.
okay.
So let's we'll go you guys first here.
Back over to us?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what their plans are with you right now?
No,
What would you do?
I'd exile me, I guess.
Oh, no. It's,
We're past exiling. You understand that? That's kind of where we're at. We are past exiling, and so you need to give us some more information here. I don't... Because right now, it's not looking good for you. But if you could give us something good, maybe that'll change your minds. I don't know.
I casually pull the hammer over my shoulder and then rest it on the ground.
Give me intimidation. You made the move, man.
That's a 1.
Oh. You it gets caught in in the strap for a second. You're tugging on it for a moment, and then you pull it out. She kind of looks right in your eyes, Pinwin, and then just kind of slumps.
I've told you all I know. If they kill me, I guess I deserve it. But
You had nothing to gain in this?
he said he was going to marry me.
you seem to have quite a bit of power in this town.
Well,
Being in charge of all the finances.
Yeah, I control the coin, but that's mostly external. Inside the town, we all barter, so I have nothing to gain from inside the town.
So that's why you want outside the town?
Well, it's part of my job to have the coin flowing through, but we just use it for supplies and stuff. It isn't. I don't know what I would gain from being in the village with money. It wouldn't help us here.
Unless you were trying to get out of the village.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna switch back to you, Willem.
So I move a little closer to him, kind of doing the looming.
Can we
over
think at him that, like, she had said that he was planning on marrying her?
Yeah, you can do that real quick.
And there
I'll give
might
you
be interest in them leaving town.
Okay, yeah.
Him being Holman. Holman was gonna marry Marley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Isn't she like super his senior?
No, they're she's like in her probably like late 30s, and he's somewhere around there, like maybe mid 30s.
Man, this whole time I was imagining like fucking
The old lady.
Yeah, Lady Tyrell like, kind of thing. Okay, so he was proposing to marry Marley.
Mm-hmm. If she helped him.
Well, it sounds like you were the first one in and pulled Marley in with you. To what end were you betraying Shadeholm? I pull my dagger and I push him against the wall.
Okay, give me intimidation at an advantage.
Sweet, double 17. So 20.
Do not be hasty. Listen, you. I assume one of the wolves that rescued the village, correct?
If you don't stop diverting away from my questions, I'm gonna be forced to divert my dagger up your ass.
I'm just trying to get a temperature for this. Like you.
I'm gonna get your temperature with my dagger.
You rescued my nephew Roscoe years ago. He always said such great things about you wolves, and I it's hard for me to imagine that someone like yourself, as pointy as that blade looks, would kill. Especially an innocent man like myself. Marley is lying.
Who said anything about killing? You lack imagination. And I pin his hand against the wall and I cut his pinky finger off.
Okay. Yes. Oh, shit. It was my idea. Please heal this. I promised to marry her. It was... Oh, God. And please, it's bleeding out.
It's your pinky. You're going to be fine. And I toss like a handkerchief to him. And now you're going to start telling me what I want to hear, or we're just going to start going down the line.
Oh, fine. I was contacted by a member of the Inquisition who said that if I helped them occupy the village, that they would make me the lead council member, and I no longer have to worry about my brother, Domric. Kind of messing things up. He's kind of a fool when it comes to certain things, and I know that I could do a much better job than... Oh, shit, this hurts. And they said it was for protection because the wolves would definitely be coming back here at some time, yourselves, and I see that you're much more reasonable than I originally thought, but that you would, come back and probably ravage the place because, it's just what you all do.
Okay, so now that we know your motivations, what were theirs?
They said that if we gave them Pinwin's family, that they could either capture Pinwin and the others here, or get you guys to go to Deepminster, and they had some sort of plan in wait. They said that they needed this location because it was one of many in the Blue Valley that they wanted to control.
Okay, so I'm gonna think over to the group here. They promised Holman here a seat on the council, and that they'd take care of his brother so he wouldn't get in his way. They were occupying Shadeholm to lure us back here. I'm assuming to try and capture, kill, or frame us some more. It sounds like they're also waiting for us in Deepminster. And yeah, it sounds like he he pulled Marley into this whole thing with the promise of marriage and marrying up, essentially.
Can you find out if there was anyone else involved in town?
And find out what the Deepminster plan is, or what he knows about it.
So far, it sounds like it's similar, if not identical, to why they were stationed up here. But yeah, I'll keep plugging away here. All right, Holman. Now we're going to talk about who you reported to and who they reported to in the Inquisition.
Okay. Well, I never learned her name, but she was a half elf woman. Very beautiful face. She didn't have any hair. She was very authoritative, and she would show up, and I would meet with her. I've only met with her 3 times, but she gave us the necessary information and when to expect the Inquisition soldiers.
Did she have a weapon of choice by any chance that you could glean?
I didn't see a weapon. She wore very flowing robes, and she gave me the impression that she was some sort of a magic user, perhaps.
I relay his description over to the group and ask if that sounds familiar to anybody.
Does that sound familiar to anybody other than the Countess from Ravenmoor?
Yes, that does sound very similar to the Countess from Ravenmoor.
Oh,
we
fuck.
killed her.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like anyone else. Oh.
Wait, she had a sister, didn't she?
Give me a history check.
12.
I'm rolling really bad all day.
15.
8.
Oh, sorry, Pinwin, you don't need to.
Oh, cool.
24.
Okay, Gorbel, that instantly reminds you of the beautiful and deadly Countess that you encountered in Ravenmoor. That description.
You mean like the Countess?
It did kind of sound like the Countess.
Hold on. Ask him how hot she was.
Holman, my man.
Yes.
You seem like an appreciator of physical beauty.
Well, I don't want to brag, but this isn't the first time one of my fingers has been cut, so...
What does that even mean?
Yeah, glossing over.
That's my new
I'm not here to kink shame. Would you describe her as beautiful?
Oh, absolutely stunning. Very, very few beauties. I'm not much for anyone other than Halfling, but you know, respect where respect is due. Game recognizes game.
That's a 10-4 on the hotness.
For a huge halfling, she's got the look.
For a huge bald halfling.
She's a half elf.
Didn't we kill the Countess years ago? Or am I misremembering?
Yes, but
thought
I've
we
only
killed
met
her.
one hairless woman that hot.
Yeah, well, I didn't... The description kind of also sounds like somebody that I ran into beneath the manor. I didn't get a good look, per se, but I got the feeling that there was some sort of trickery going on. And now that there's another person out there with fitting the same description, there seems to be some kind of general fuckery with the Countess.
Wait, what
and
happened with this
Ravenmoor.
person underground?
So, do you remember the cult members
Yeah.
that we stumbled upon? And they tried to grab Smoochie, and they left like that handprint on him.
Yeah.
So, I thought she was connected to them. I went off exploring, and I found her being all alone and ominous and shit, and like spewing prophecies, and sounded like some bad juju. So I dispatched her.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So we
and-
had a twin situation going on that
And-
whole
Well, now it
time?
sounds like triplets.
Triplets.
And
I hope that's
I
it.
feel like that was
There
probably
can't be
information
more,
we should have
right?
been privy to, but
it didn't
we know now.
seem.
Pinwin, you don't even know who the Countess is.
Oh yeah,
it's cool.
That's
I
right.
stopped the prophecy.
She was saying some stuff, so I stopped her.
Yeah, I stopped the prophesizing at least. Whether or
okay.
not that.
Okay,
that's
well-
another problem.
So bad lady with multiples of her.
Bad, very powerful lady.
Yeah.
Maybe she's Calcifer.
very influential lady.
I'm confused
I mean, at this
with
point,
who
with the
Calcifer
number of
is.
calcifers, quote unquote, that we've
Yeah.
run into,
And there's baddies
I'm just
beyond
imagining
Calcifer,
me
so I'm
standing and
so
looking at like the wall, and Holman is just like, "What is he doing?"
I'm just gonna sneak past here real quick.
Throat grab.
Find out if there's any more halflings
Sure.
involved, and then we'll deal with them.
And get more information about this chick. Names, locations.
He said he didn't know her name, and
Status.
it sounds like she just kind of, I think, unmarried or widowed.
5 experience.
Single and looking.
Single, yeah, hot bald singles in your area are looking to warlock you to the bedpost. He said he didn't know her name, and it sounds like she just kind of swooped in and out. She might be in Deepminster now, but I'm gonna ask him who she answered to, and just kind of go up the ladder, the chain of command, so to say.
And then about Deepminster, because as long as they don't
All
know
right.
anything about the king and that whole thing, if
All
they're
right,
not
sounds
part of
good.
that.
Was there anybody other than yourself and Marley involved in the village in Shadeholm?
No, it was no one else needed to be involved. The less cooks in the kitchen, the better. I mean, I didn't want another power struggle. Once they had instated, put me in a position of leadership here.
I'm gonna roll insight on that one.
Okay.
Good call.
Ooh, Willem, I have one more question for you to ask him.
14 to that.
He seems like he's being fairly honest with what he says.
Okay. What you got, Gorbel?
Did that asshole ever even intend to marry her?
I'll save that one for last. The bald half-elf woman, who did she answer to? Who was her chain? What was the chain of command there?
She claimed to be on orders of the council, as far as I
Directly
understand.
from the council.
Yes, I mean, that's who I was dealing with. I don't know who else would want to.
Did she have like a right-hand man that she had with her or anything like that, or somebody that she reported directly to her?
She, there was a human woman that would post up outside. She would always arrive with her, and she would stay outside of the village. She also fairly beautiful, younger than this half-elf woman, but I didn't get a good look at her. I tried, but I couldn't get close enough with those other guards around.
Name by any chance get thrown around for her?
I don't recall, but
Okay.
they seemed to have a very just business relationship. They didn't seem to like each other very much,
Okay.
as if they didn't enjoy being on the task together on assignment.
Okay. Now the group that's posted up in Deepminster, waiting for us. Is it possible that they're there with that group?
It seems that way. I can be much more. If you allow me to rest and perhaps eat and drink, I could be much more. Maybe my memory become less foggy.
Your faculties are just fine now, and you'll only be prolonging the hurt that I give you if you make me wait for you to eat and rest. You're going to tell me all the information now, and then we'll negotiate any sort of resting that you're going to be doing. And
Okay.
depending on how you answer, it might be a permanent rest.
All right. The only other information I have on that, I don't know that, but the only other information that might be useful is I was when I would send my letters, I would send them to a Myra Green Cross.
I'm going to shoot them. Myra Green Cross. Does that ring a bell to anybody?
That rings a bell to all of you from Moonreach as the girl that you grew up with and was also one of the assistants for the council members, which you're not aware of that, Willem. You just remember her from your youth.
Oh, Myra Crotch Pants. Yeah. What?
She's the one that was in cahoots with. His name isn't Lars, is it? Mm-hmm. Lars.
That bitch.
Calcifer Lars.
Calciflars. That bitch. Okay, so yeah, send that over their way. Did they mention their numbers in Deepminster, or if they had any special plans for us there?
No, but they seemed quite confident that they could take care of you somehow. They didn't divulge much to me. My concerns were just getting what I needed here, and
if what's the temperature like outside? What's their plan for me?
Killy.
Oh, well. Could I perhaps? Are you a fan of coin?
Save it.
Well, just hear me out. If you would, you just perhaps let the door open on your way out.
The more words that come out of your mouth that involve me letting you go or showing you any sort of mercy is just going to work against you and makes me want to drive this dagger through your eye.
Fair enough. Will you at least convince them to not kill me?
I don't think that's going to happen either. At this point, the politics of Shadeholm don't concern me, if I'm being completely honest. Whatever they decide to do with you, I hope it's heavy-handed.
He just kind of stares off into space.
Oh, well, that's a comfort, I suppose.
I'm gonna reach into my pouch and break off a little.
He sort of like jumps back.
Break off a little bit of one of the Anorp mushrooms that I took from Dreg.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna toss it at his feet. And I'm gonna turn around and start walking back towards the door. And I'm gonna look over my shoulder and ask him one other thing.
The Columbo. Nice.
Yes.
It's just one more thing. Did you ever actually have any intent to marry Marley?
Well, that's a difficult thing to answer.
You planned to just kill her.
No, I would never kill anyone.
15 for insight.
He seems disgusted by the idea of killing someone.
And his intent to marry?
He seems very hesitant to say an honest answer.
Yeah, so he didn't. I thought so, you fucking worm. I walk out and close the door behind me. I rejoin them and relay all of that information. Info dump.
So, Willem, you enter and rejoin the party, and you see that Marley is very despondent on the ground, and the group is standing over her.
I go ahead and relay all that information that I got off Holman to them.
Okay.
Vocally or through the brain? Like
Through the brain. Through the brain
We're
vein.
all just like,
Silent.
okay.
Did you have anything in mind when you asked him to ask about his intentions to wed her?
At this point, no.
Okay.
I had a use for it earlier, but not now.
Okay.
I think I'll spare her.
Well, I think we've got about all we need. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about Lumpso. Lumpso?
Lumsa.
Sorry about Lumpsa.
That sounded a lot less. I can't speak. Never mind.
That sounded a bit shit.
So she's still getting exiled, right?
I mean, at this point, I don't think... Again, I'm not gonna get involved, but if it were me, I wouldn't let them wander out into the world eagerly betraying
So you're
the
recommending
village.
death for both.
I mean, that would be my vote.
I mean, he
If I
was
had-
definitely
if it
a
was a voting
mastermind,
situation.
and it just sounds like he was just straight up jerked. So I don't know, maybe like kill him, but then I don't know. Maybe we could exile her and give her like a forget-me-not thing, that potion like we had that one time. We can maybe do that.
I don't think you guys have any of those on you, though.
No, we don't.
Just hold up the hammer.
Wouldn't you want to give her a forget me, not a forget me not?
Oh, I'm thinking of. I'm thinking
Forget
of
me nows. Yeah.
Yeah, forget me nows.
They sell them in Deepminster. At least they did.
Yeah, but we're not gonna have them just like hold her. That's just.
So you think just out of convenience we just destroy her life?
She told on me.
Wait, I thought
just
didn't
checking.
have to
I'm just
tell on
checking.
me.
this interrogation was about deciding if we were killing or exiling, right? There's no chance of freedom, correct?
Who said freedom?
Nobody.
I didn't
which is,
care what happened to them. I just wanted to get information about the Inquisition from them.
I'm just trying to make sure that I understand this. We are just deciding if we're killing or if they're going to execute.
We're
or
not deciding
exiling.
anything.
Yeah.
Pinwin is deciding and then relaying that to the halflings.
But those are the two options, right?
Yeah, but our opinion shouldn't matter. Like, Pinwin knows the customs here and what's important to his people. let's not fuck with anything that they have going on. Like if they were in Wolves Arrest, we would just kill them because that's the obvious thing to do.
Well, actually, probably not. We would put them in our prison system and then forget about them for a long time.
Like with Ritus, that turned out super great. Like letting him stay there and then convince everybody that he's a cool guy.
That was
and
not
then
me.
Kidnap a bunch of people.
I was never okay with that.
I'm just saying. Pinwin, you have a decision to make.
Yeah.
And you need to tell it to whoever you need to tell it to so we can get back.
Yep. So let's go. I think we've got all we need.
All right.
And like Marley doesn't even look up, but as you're like leaving, she just says, "I'm sorry, Pinwin," as you exit.
Maybe be more sorry about who you hook up with, lady.
She just doesn't respond.
Then I
Sassily,
hit my hammer
throw it
back
over your shoulder.
shoulder.
All right, so you guys exit.
It gets caught again.
Shit. As you guys exit, you see that the village has gathered beneath, and they're all like waiting. It looks like
They've got riot tools, pitchforks, and torches and stuff.
I am a golden god.
And as you descend to the ground, or ascend downward, downly, your mother steps forward, and so does Luck, and a few of the other council members step forward, your grandpa being one of them. And they kind of look at you, Pinwin, and a little bit to the rest of you, but they're mostly focused on you. And Luck kind of, like, very hesitantly says, My mother, what did you learn?
We learned that Holman was pretty much the mastermind behind all of this, and he promised your mom marriage.
He looks disgusted.
I know. Yep. And so she kind of was just going along with him. But yeah, at this point with decision making, I don't know. I mean, him, I do not trust him out in the world. I think we would have to kill him just to ensure that no one from the Inquisition can find us again and can do the same thing and infiltrate it all. But is he the person that I have to tell all of this to, or is he just asking his mom?
You're in front of everybody.
Okay. But maybe this is something our town could vote on, because with them, I also don't know if we should risk it. I feel like Shadeholm has been through so much more than we've ever been through, and I don't want a repeat of this happening because we let someone out who was willing to, I don't know, like hurt our town, even if it's for marriage. But at the same time, it wasn't her original idea, so I don't know.
Your mom kind of approaches as well. So what do you think, Pinwin? Do you think they should both be exiled? They should both be killed? One exiled, one killed?
I think Holman should be killed for sure. And with Marley, maybe that's something we have a town vote for, so it's fair, but I don't know.
The reason we had you go up and check is because our town is divided on what we should do. So we trust in your opinion. You have seen things outside of this village. You know how dangerous some of these people can be. You know our way has always been to exile, regardless. We've never, ever executed someone before, but this is... If they maliciously planned to have our town attacked and these people killed, then we should probably kill them.
Yeah, I think both probably should be killed. We also need to set an example so no one in our town does this again.
Pinwin has spent a lot of time outside of Shadeholm.
Well,
I hate this, but...
If that's your decision, Pinwin, we'll... do the rest of you... Do you support this decision? You did save our town.
I don't work
We
here.
don't have any skin in this game.
Yeah, no, this is not our place. We don't want any part of this. This is...
I just feel like to protect Shadeholm, we just might have to.
I don't know. Like, if you want my opinion...
Please, you are one of our town's saviors.
No, I'm answering this differently on behalf of your people, not mine. I would treat this much differently. But it's very possible that neither of them understood the extent with which they were getting involved and the things that were at stake.
He seemed to know.
I don't know if they intended actual death and harm on anyone. Like, they seemed to be under the understanding that we were going to be the ones captured and used and whatnot.
But he knew about the portal and the monster and stuff.
I'm just saying that I don't know what your customs usually are, but your town is protected now from outsiders.
Is that what this all is? It's protected? Does that mean that
It's hidden right now.
it's hidden for how long?
It's up to this little guy. I don't know.
And yeah, Dreg comes kind of like wandering out, smoking a pipe. Well, I mean, really, anybody who I don't give access to can't find it for, as long as I'm keeping this going. And this is just a rolling thing. I don't have to, like, think about it or anything. So unless I make it go away, it's going to be there forever.
Can you put people in harmless demi-planes?
Yeah, I have that ability.
Option C. I like that.
I would suggest us doing that. If you people are uncomfortable getting blood on your hands, then they can be displaced, and then they can't harm your town again. And it'll give them a chance to make something of themselves. Maybe even banish them together, because one was claiming he was going to marry her, but he was lying about it. So they might just be stuck together.
I like your thinking, Tomar.
So,
I like that.
I wasn't privy to all this information, but who am I doing this to?
Maybe these prisoners?
The lovely couple up there. But that's up to these halflings.
And the remaining council members kind of like nod and look at you, Pinwin, and like, we will, your mother, she says, we will discuss very briefly what to do. Do you want to stay for our decision, Pinwin? Or would you like to? I know you have somewhere to be.
I think we need to move on. I trust that you all will take care of the town and decide what's best. Yeah. So yeah, I trust you.
And Dreg kind of like looks up. I got this beetle here. Whenever you guys make your decision, you need me to get him to go. You just tell this beetle here to come find me. My name is Dreg. I am a redcap. Actually, some of you might not remember this, but just the beetle. You tell him, find Dreg. I'll come. I'll bop him away, and then if that's a decision you make, just let me know. But I'm gonna go with these guys for now, and if I hear from you, if I haven't heard from you for a while, I'll summon the beetle back. And your mother's kind of like, oh, okay, well, thank you. I think we've got some deliberating to do. And then the council members kind of move away, and the rest of the town just kind of standing there like, well, fuck.
Maybe write the beetle stuff down, Mom, in case you
what's
forget.
That, Pinwin?
Write down all the stuff with Dreg, because you kind of forget him after he leaves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so maybe write it down in a note.
Oh, okay.
Just to be safe.
All right.
She like looks around for like something to write on and something to write with, and as she walks.
Okay, good. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and we're off.
You guys want to head back to the Feywild?
Yes. To our buddy Verolis.
That felt somewhat pointless.
I'm not sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be pretty
We got a lot
broken up about.
We got information,
Good
My bad
information.
cap felt
but
sour.
and we maybe stopped an innocent place from succumbing to how we deal with things, which is
I do think that's good.
You were the one advocating death.
I was, because I couldn't think of any other options.
Pinwin kind of, you don't lose where you're from. I think it's important. Like,
Don't go changing.
I know this is weird coming from me, but I think there's other options, and we should try and be better than our alternate selves if we can.
That's true. You've got a good point. I think we've just been wronged so much. It just seems like every time I let someone go, then
Well, if they come back and they do stuff again, then we'll definitely destroy them.
that's true. And yeah, I don't want to be other plain Pinwin, because he killed Gorbel, right?
Oh yeah, super hard.
Yeah. No,
She could not even defend herself.
I'm
But I was
not.
so fucking rich.
I am not gonna be that Pinwin.
Are we going or what?
Yeah, we're
what are we
going,
doing here?
we're going,
Okay,
we're going.
you
Please.
guys could wax
Give her all
philosophical for a while if you want. I can hang out here, but yeah. All right then. 1, 2, 3. He looks at Shadow. 4, 5. All right. Let's do this thing.
Slaps his hands together, and poof, you guys are instantly back in the grove in the Feywild. You see Varolus resting on against the tree. He looks to be napping. He doesn't even stir when you guys get here.
Oh, sleepy little turtle.
How's he look now?
He's still young and youthful and healthy, but yeah, he is obviously sleeping off some jet lag there. All right, so
Can I expedite the process by like lesser restoration or something?
you can attempt.
Would that mushroom help him?
Do you have more mushroom?
I do. Would
Maybe
it
give
help
him
him?
the mushroom.
Would it help him? I'm gonna let him answer.
It's definitely possible.
Whatever. I just give him one of the mushrooms.
All right, so you walk over to Varolus.
Yeah.
All right, who you haven't met
met.
before. And he kind of stirs as you approach.
Oh, hello.
Hey, I think that eating this might help speed up your recovery process.
Oh, it's an anort mushroom. Thank you.
That is correct.
This is just the trick I need. And he
I'm upset that this happened.
you never quite get used to that taste, but it's good. I feel so much better.
What happened in the Starlight Plane?
Oh, well, after you left, I fought with Olafeist. We battled for quite a while till the portal closed, and then he trapped me and imprisoned me until our friend here showed up. That would be me. I busted him out of the joint.
Woo!
Where's Olafeist now?
Well, he's still reigning over essentially his thralls, those that are still remain on the Starlight Plane. It wasn't actually all that long ago that you all left. Maybe, seems like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 days?
Do you know anything about the Master?
The Master.
He's supposedly from there. Wears a wooden mask. Mysterious dude.
I've heard tell of one of Olfeist's brothers who did favor a mask. It seemed like he had this ability to infect anyone that he bit by turning them into something similar to what he is, which is hard to say. He's some sort of, great and powerful archfey, but it's like a watered down version. They have aversion to sunlight, and they can only come out at night.
Like a vampire?
Yes, maybe that term I've maybe heard before. I'm not familiar with a lot of lore, but on that front. But yes, maybe a vampire.
We killed
We've
one of
met
those
that.
once.
Wasn't Miraluk related to them? Both of them?
Yes, Mirlock is one of the other brothers. Yes, there's 3 of them.
Oh.
And
Olfeist went on and on.
Olfeist wanted us to kill both of them.
Well, I imagine he would, because I believe they left him and one of them had to remain in the plane. And because of that, he was stuck. Not all 3 used to dwell in the Starlight Plane at one point.
Maybe we should have listened to Olfeist at the time, because the master's behind a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he is.
That
That's
wasn't
what
my I
Mandorin
don't know,
said.
Tomar.
What don't you know then?
I don't know if we should have listened to much of what Olafai said. He
Well,
was a
right now we
dick.
don't know enough about the master to locate him or know where he is. So we're boned there right now.
What if it's possible that we could ask one of them ourselves?
What do you mean?
If we had a way to get one of... I'm not sure if it's... I've got a half-cocked plan here, but Mandorin left us a vial of vampire blood, and if I open this, I can control whatever vampire this blood came from, and I could get them to come to us, and it's possible, seems like almost probable that whoever's blood this is connected to all this somehow and might have insight or information to help us out with our current situation.
That's an interesting idea.
But where do we put the blood?
Well, I say we wait until we find another memory of Mandorin's to see if he knew why he gave us that blood and who it belongs to. Because, yeah, that's got to be there for a reason. Mandorin was the one who gave it to us. So
Maybe it's just some cool blood he found.
It could be.
Gorbel, thank you for being so helpful today. I appreciate it. Verolis, do you know what our plan is?
What? I've learned very little of your plan, but I am interested to hear it. You have restored me to life and vivaciousness, and helped me get out of the Starlight Plane. So I think I can do you at least a favor for now, and until to a time, I have my own things that I'd like to pursue. But this seems important.
You have something more pressing than the end of the entire universe?
Well, not exactly, but these things tend to work themselves out. I've heard that my people, the Turtles, I've heard that I'm the only one, but I learned an interesting bit of information in Olfeist's cells from a prisoner who I could not see, but he indicated that there is a place where my people may have gone long ago, and I'd like to see if I could get there and see why they're no longer here.
Is
That
it
makes
on the
sense.
material plane?
It seems to be the material plane, yes.
Was that prisoner from the material plane?
He was very cagey about his answers, but I didn't disagree with his assessment of some things that he mentioned from the material plane, so it made it seemed as though he was on the level.
So until then, there's things going on that threaten all of the material plane.
Yeah, you indicated some of the things, but what has happened since I last saw you?
Well, there's portals opening up with demons coming out of the abyss.
I see. That sounds familiar. Okay.
There's at least one being who might be in league with several other entities that are trying to awaken an ancient god to destroy the material plane itself.
That sounds also familiar. Okay.
There's a
Familiar to what?
Some of the things that we encountered as the Bloody Brawlers, we encountered the Lich. She wanted to control, and the only way that Rayalodian saw to take her down was to open some of the portals and kind of take away some of her power from the abyssal plane. And so
he had plans that I wasn't fully privy to on how that happened, and before we could even get close to it, I had disappeared. So I went to the Starlight Plane. But there was seems to be a lot of similarities between then and now.
But we don't know the solution.
Well, solution to what? Perhaps I can help. I do know a little bit.
There's also a calcifer.
Yes, you mentioned that. It seems to be strange that he would be still alive after all this time. But then again, I'm alive after all this time, so I guess anything's possible.
It wasn't the same one.
No. Somebody else named Calcifer.
Maybe they're descended from them, but they were from our
Or
town.
they're from an alternate timeline.
Yeah, at
fuck.
this point, there could be like multiple timelines.
Yeah, we found out there's
Calcifers.
multiple timelines.
Multiple timelines. I know that
So
in my
that's a
studies,
thing.
I'd seen mention of multiple timelines.
So this Calcifer could be from another timeline. But we don't know.
I see.
Just a lot
We
of
saw
pickle.
what the brawlers did to the hobgoblins, though, in our timeline. And that wasn't good.
What did they do?
You don't know what they did?
I was not.
You were still fucking around when they did it.
What are you talking about?
We saw you in the past, too.
You saw me in the past.
Yes.
Did I look like this?
Kinda. You were midair and stuff.
Ah, yes.
Really cool.
I do enjoy flying.
Rayalodian, some lady, and some guy.
Some hobgoblin.
Yeah. Calcifer.
Yeah.
Basically, his two brothers and
A tiefling.
a tiefling friend of theirs were used. Their blood was used for a ritual.
He as you're telling him this, he seems to be like trying to remember stuff. He's like looking around, like trying to concentrate, and like as if something sounds familiar to him. I it's been a long time, but I thought that yes, there was another group, kind of separate from ours and the soldiers we led that seemed to be doing some like guerrilla warfare tactics, but I don't recall what happened to them. I never had any interaction with them. That was always Calcifer.
So Rayalodian never shared why he was working with anyone separately.
No, he seemed to have his own sort of focus and drive, and I mean, a descendant of Valtel himself. Most people, we were young and foolhardy, so if he did something not good, I am not condoning it, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised.
So did you knew Ilrendir, right?
Ah, yes, Ilrendir, yes.
So he met up with the hobgoblins and the tiefling from Kualu, and he was helping them try to get to the bottom of Ray Liotta's filmography. He was attempting to help the hobgoblins and the tiefling get to the bottom of Ray's scheme, and ended up dying with them for it.
You see, he died for it. But I recall, I guess,
the last we saw of him, he was struck down by this blade, and I point at Gorbel's wolf
Wolf blood blade.
Wolf blood blade. Wolf blood blade.
that's
He was
interesting.
also stabbed in the chest with like a sun sword. Like a energy sword or something.
I guess it's possible that he never returned from there. It wasn't long after I noticed that they were gone that I was taken myself to the Starlight Plane. I'm sorry I can't be more helpful in this aspect of it, but I might know a thing or two about the situation going on with the portals. Do you know about seals?
We know that lineage stones can seal
That is correct, and in order to seal things or unseal them takes a great amount of power or sacrifice. And so, if what you're saying is true with the portals, which I do believe, then that means that someone has been breaking the seals in the cities using great sacrifice, blood sacrifice. Do you recall any great amount of hobgoblins anywhere?
No. Well, not since Moonreach. No, since Ravenmoor.
What happened in Ravenmoor?
It was assaulted.
By hobgoblins?
They were working with other people, Rothians.
And
That
there was
is-
an undead dragon,
That is
if that helps at all.
a very peculiar thing. I thought that most of the hobgoblins were gone, but that means that there's a place where the hobgoblins live, if there was that many of them. And I wonder, do you know where the seals have been broken?
Well, one of them is in the Beldorak, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Well,
I'm assuming Ravenmoor, potentially Moonreach.
It's something I'll have to think on, but let me get my bearings, and perhaps I'll be able to help you a little bit better soon.
Okay. Well, Gorbel, do you want to explain what our goal is right now, at least?
You mean getting to Deepminster?
Yeah.
We're going to Deepminster. All right. And what are we going to achieve there?
What are we going to do when we get there?
King. What are
We
we, doing
have
with
to get-
the king?
King Othis.
Yeah, what are we doing?
we
No,
don't
not
have King
Othis.
Othis.
What are we
Prince
doing
Othis.
with that
No,
kid
Othis.
king?
Yeah.
Gustav.
Gustav, that was it. Sorry, yeah.
Goo.
Goo.
Mr. Goo.
His blood is like integral to activating or locating something.
Well, I know
I
that
forget.
the lineage stones were forged originally with the blood of Valtel, and anyone with that has a descendant bloodline would be able to control the lineage stones, and the most principal and purest of that blood belongs to the Ongrim family. At least it did when
They're
I was
dead.
still around. Well, that is an issue.
But we do have a guy back there doing a ritual. He thinks he could bring him back, but the
a
success
vigil.
rate of that is
Yeah, you know about the vigil?
Yes, long ago, one of the kings was rumored to have returned through a vigil.
oh my god, it's just a rumor.
Well, I mean, it was before my time, but
So you don't have any like maybe tips or pointers or anything that might help the chance of it actually being successful?
maybe I could. Let me think on this. It's very possible that I could be of some use. Let me look through my books, my belongings. When do you want to head there?
Wasn't it our plan to just kind of teleport essentially to Deepminster?
Yeah, we can leave from here.
Let's get you there. Let's all get there, and we're at least going to be there. We'll check in on Uthor, and see how his vigil's going, and we'll go from there.
All right, I guess.
Oh, also, the council is responsible for this child's death, so
Well, that does infuriate me. I don't much like the idea of a council ruling over when a bloodlined king from Valtel is available. But if they have killed,
he's also a child, though, so I don't think that he was really that good.
it does not matter. He is of a long, long lineage, and that does infuriate me.
Okay. Well, good.
Well, cool your jets, man. We're figuring this out.
But also not cool your jets because we're probably going to have to take him down at some point. So
Well, we need everyone level-headed.
cool your jets only slightly to be level-headed, and then you can refire the jets.
Just try and
What's a jet?
try and keep your eye out for something that might jog your memory about anything while we go.
All right, I can do that.
And if anything seems weird or out of place, I don't know where all you've been when you were kicking around up here, but
I've been a great many places, so perhaps. Did you have something to say, Gorbel?
No.
You were like,
I don't want to say it anymore.
oh, okay.
she was going to say, I love you, but then changed her mind.
Okay. All right, well, how do we do this?
I'm going to make a portal.
Oh, all right.
Do we need to talk to Dreg about anything else?
You've been a great help, and you have our sincerest gratitude.
Don't mention it.
Pinwin.
Yeah?
Just plumb slipped my mind. And he reaches into behind him, and he pulls a paintbrush out of his belt.
Oh,
This was your daddy's. Here you go.
Thank you.
Now, be careful with that. It is an antique.
So, how does it work? Can you just give me a brief rundown?
Brief rundown. You got like 3 charges per day per sunup. Kind of works like a wand. If you use it, whatever you draw with it will be animated for 1 minute. However, you can't it looks like whatever you draw. So you can't make a key, for instance, that opens a lock if you don't know what the lock is supposed to look like on the inside, that sort of thing. And it has it's very delicate. So if something hits it, it'll probably go away. So use it very sparingly.
Okay. Wow, that sounds awesome.
And you might see a little O-D carved in there. That's your dad. Your daddy did that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've really enjoyed this. This has been really fun. I was just kind of hanging out, waiting for my wife to get back, which I don't know when she's supposed to, but it's sometime, hopefully. So she's like I said, helping some adventurers, and and so am I. So we'll both have stories to swap, which is good, because usually we just talk about that tree over there.
Well, if you ever need any assistance from us, don't hesitate to call.
I absolutely will not.
Or if you just want to talk,
hesitate.
I'm always.
No, if I need anything, I feel like I've done so much right now. Like, you guys owe me one, like a big time.
That's fair.
Yeah,
and it sounds like you guys, at least somewhat often, find yourselves helping adventurers out like ourselves.
Yeah, it's really weird how that works out.
If we happen to run into her at some point, what's her name?
Driga.
Driga. All right.
And then you guys see like a little beetle flies through the air and lands.
Looks like they chose plane banishment. So, all right. Well, that's my cue. Help yourself to this place while I'm gone.
And he snaps his fingers and he's gone.
Well, that was real.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. I slap my hands together and I start rubbing them.
Okay.
And then I trace like a big circular pattern, and it kind of opens up right in front of us.
Okay.
And we can just directly see Uthor.
Okay.
Like in the room. We can straight up walk right in.
He looks surprised. He's like, hello.
Let's get in there.
All right, let's go. After you guys.
How's it been going?
And Varolus goes as well through the portal with you guys, and the portal closes behind you. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Woo!
I will answer your question on the next. I was just like, this is going to keep going. Woo. All right.
Oh, right.
So. What?
I took my headphones off, like, all right, we're done.
We're
I forgot
done
we do anything
forever.
Episode 79.
It's only been like normal amount of time in between. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Let's see here. Sorry,
Which is funny because there was a lot larger gap between our last episode and the one before that.
Right? Yeah.
There are so many different things to keep track of right now, though.
How about like 10,000?
There's a whole bunch of shit that you guys were talking about where I was just like, I know, I
forgot.
Any of
And
these
I'm
people
forgetting.
are.
We definitely
the
need a
names.
journal of...
We need a codex.
I used to take
You guys
notes.
should take notes.
I used
bad
to,
guy
and then I
and
stopped.
I
motivation.
can't take notes on shit that I wasn't around for.
But notes only help so much when you have a microphone in front of you, because then it'll be like, fuck, that was probably
That's why I stopped.
8 weeks ago, and then you're like...
He's color coordinated. Bad guys, important places, dumb shit. All right, so let's dole out some experience here, guys.
Okay.
Everyone will be taking 3,100 experience points.
Whee!
It's an interesting amount.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Just mixing it up, guys. All right,
You've
what else?
got to be like on the cusp.
What else do you guys deserve experience for?
Convincing the halflings to reserve their murderous rage.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, it's really weird that
100 experience points.
you were the one to do that, I feel like.
Yeah, very funny.
I feel like I'm getting confused by everybody's motivations.
But, well,
What does Willem want?
so it's not so weird when you actually think about Tomar. It's weird on the surface because he does kind of have that like rage and just murderability, but he's also very into traditions and cultures and the preservation thereof. So
But then
on that
Pinwin's
level,
all like, well, I guess we gotta kill him both.
More importantly,
Because I'm
Pinwin had
getting
a murder
skewed from
boner.
the world.
right. More importantly, I saw Pinwin, someone who I respect for being a certain way, slipping away, and I don't want him to lose himself because everyone in the world is shitty. Like, I want him to realize that there's still good ways to deal with things that isn't just killing somebody.
Or just exiling. Were you going to be comfortable if I was like, just exile him, it's fine?
No, I wouldn't have thought it was a good idea, but it's better than probably just killing them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you guys need experience for?
Talking to Dayla,
Uh,
even though that was really awkward.
Yeah, for a little bit of character resolution, you can have 100 experience points, Pinwin. And then all of you guys can have 100 experience points for your interrogation skills.
Yeah.
Not me. I didn't do that.
I'll take his.
Herstagging while Hirstag is gone.
Oh, yeah. For transporting everyone right there at the end, you can have 70 experience
Yeah, that
points.
was helpful.
No, 100, because that is, like, otherwise, how would you guys get there?
Drake.
Yeah.
God, I love Drake.
Yeah, Drake is fun.
I'm just imagining him as a tiny little version of. Have you seen anybody seen Scrooged?
Yeah.
Okay, so the cab driver, the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cab driver from Scrooge, just a tiny version of him.
Yep.
Any other doled out experience points?
Honestly, like if we could get some for like just the history and a lot of us discussing shit that may have been forgotten.
Yeah, a little aside stuff. Yeah, I'll give. That's a good point. I'll give you guys each 50 experience points for using using backstory stuff, coming together, and then putting it in the plot. All right, I think that's it for dole out. Now it's time for tonight's MVPC. Howdy ho. Most valuable player character. You guys will vote to see who gets an extra 500 experience points. And you will vote considering who you thought was the most badass, who did something cool, or just who the fuck ever you want to vote for, I guess. You don't really need a reason, but I'd like you to have one. Or be honest about your reasons. So Willem will be 1. Tomar will be 2. Pinwin will be 3, and Gorbel will be 4. I will give you one moment to decide. And, nice. And on the count of 3, go ahead and hold up the number of fingers indicating who you prefer. 1, 2, 3, vote. We've got 3 votes for Willem and 1 vote for Tomar.
Shit.
Willem, why did you vote for Tomar?
Kind of, we already discussed it, so I'll just, paraphrase. But essentially, the consideration that he took when he saw Pinwin, like, kind of going down a dark path, and like, ooh, we should maybe correct
Pump the
that.
brakes on that.
Yeah, we should maybe correct that path a little bit, and just without being very obvious about it or blatant, like, hey, you shouldn't do this. It was very like, hey, let's all take a second.
Diplomatic, yeah.
Very diplomatic, which is, I don't want to say uncharacteristic of Tomar, because I think just underneath the surface, he is very considerate and can be diplomatic when it comes to things like preservation of culture and tradition. So,
Very nice.
Yeah.
Tomar, why'd you vote for Willem?
His very undiplomatic interrogation style
Very helpful.
got some information that we needed and helped push things along. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Pinwin, why'd you vote for Willem?
Yeah, pretty much the interrogation. If I would have gone even bad cop, I don't think would have cut off a finger. So I haven't been skewed by the world that much yet. So I'm really glad that someone else did.
Gorbel, why'd you vote for Willem?
The interrogation.
Nice.
Probably.
Okay, all right.
I also enjoyed getting to bring up our old rivalry.
All right, cool. Well, you know what that means. It's Willem Valtel's tonight's MVPC.
All right.
Take 500 experience points and donate it to Science for Prosthetic Fingers.
fuck off.
I like it.
All right.
Hey guys. And yeah, if you need to get your hands dirty, let me know.
Because I will do it gladly.
I am all about it, evidently.
All right. Well, that's it for tonight's episode, guys. Thank you for listening. Make sure you check out our social media stuff, as always, our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook, and consider donating to our Patreon and check that out at least. Also, YouTube and our website, which is actually really cool. We've got pictures of the characters. We've got some articles and some background stories written. I always forget to mention that. But yeah, please check that out too. That's www.d20syndicate.com. Thanks.
Yeah, bitch.
Hell yeah, bitch. Thanks to Chad Piper for our intro song. Thanks to Adrian Von Ziegler for that beautiful background music. And thanks to all of you listeners once again, because without you, this isn't possible. I am your host and DM, Seth, and this is the D20 Syndicate podcast, where we go on adventures so you don't have to. Goodbye.
Bye.
Some games and I didn't want to go to work, and he was like, oh dude, and I can't remember what game he said, but he's like, yeah, I just got something on PlayStation, and the guy behind us was like, he's like, oh, you guys aren't some of those like loyal to brand type people, are you? Like, you guys fight because one of you's Xbox and one of you's PlayStation? I was like, no, we're just talking about video games, man. He's like, yeah, because it's stupid. Then he paid with a Denver Broncos debit card, and I was like, you fucking idiot.
Everybody talking.
Check.
Talking
That's
over
mine.
Ted.
He is so loud.
He
That
is
you're
loud.
adjusting mine right
Do you
now.
want me to raise it?
Yeah, mine can go back to where it was.
Talking, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
That's
Talking.
kind of loud.
Hello.
And I'm
Down
Hello.
a little bit.
And I'm talking. I don't remember what happened last time, so I might be very.
All right, this is for Michaela. Everybody talk. Everybody's lowering it for
Everyone
Michaela.
talk for
Everybody's lowering it for Michaela. You gotta say when. You gotta say when. Okay.
I was just waiting until it actually felt good.
I like how we all stopped at the same time.
That's good.
It was total chaos until then. Lindsey, does everybody sound good in your head?
How did we sound to
sounded
you?
good. Everybody sounded
I think
good.
it sounds
everybody,
good.
I think
everybody,
I
Like you're saying that before you.
sounded
I
good.
imagine you putting on the headphones and be like, ah! I'm so loud.
Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango.
But then do you have to drink extra water because you have an extra life in you?
I do, but I was like super confused because yesterday after I ate, I like downed a whole water bottle, and so I'm like, yeah, like normal human shit. Like I'm gonna pee a ton because I just drank a whole water bottle, and then I had to pee, and I thought I was gonna like pee a ton, and then it's just like. Like the tiniest bit every time, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where is it? Where's it going?
That's how I feel when I go to McPoopies.
When I'm like really constipated, I have the same thing happen to me.
Yeah, it's,
Where I'm like, I have
it's
to
very
pee so
frustrating.
bad.
Water
That's like
constipated, I guess.
Yeah, it's just easier to shove it in, and then while you're sitting.
Yeah.
What?
We're talking about peeing while pooping.
Oh yeah, where do you put your dick?
You just
Usually-
cram it in.
Yeah, you usually just let it fall.
Huh.
But this
Is it like Is it like stuck like behind the toilet seat?
I think it would depend on the kind of toilet.
It depends on the kind of toilet. It depends on the kind of toilet. And if it's a public toilet, no, you put a buffer. Hand
what?
toilet paper.
Oh.
Because you do not want, at least personally, I do not want my dick touching the porcelain
I don't know if I would.
in a public restroom.
And a lot of the public toilets have
They have a lip
The lip
missing.
Yeah.
the lip on the seat. So
What do you do about splashback?
like if you
Splashback.
turd on your like balls?
Yeah, if you have a big kerplunk, like I feel like that would
That's
be
called
closer.
Poseidon's kiss. And you just deal with the blessing that you just got.
It's called jumping with galoshes.
I mean, this makes me
That's a wipe
Throw
situation.
galoshes into any situation.
this makes me
that's a
much
wipe
more
situation.
concerned about like any kind of sexual act.
It should. It's unfortunate, but I think about that all
Now
the time.
I'm gonna have to ask you all the time, like, have you used a public bathroom today?
Yes. No. I mean, if this is public.
So, if that happens to me, like I just feel bad because I'm like, oh man, if like a
Was that
sexual
your
encounter
sound?
happens later, I'm gonna have to like I have like the like a fucking moral fiduciary responsibility to like be like, let's get in the shower. I'm gonna get in the shower real quick before we do this because
At least use a wet ones or something.
oh god.
Have you ever had the tip accidentally touch?
That's the thing that I hate the most. That's why there's always a buffer.
Yeah.
I hate that. I was just gonna say. So yeah, sometimes when you go to wipe and you shift and it's just like
The
the
tip
tip
of your
just touches, just kisses the fucking port, and you're just like, ah!
Did you know that there
No.
there are?
I hate it so much.
Did you know that there are two styles of wiping?
Yes.
What?
There's sitting wiping and stand wiping.
Oh, there's more than two then.
What's surprising to me is how many people do both. You know, I mean, not do both, but how many do
The ratio,
either or.
yeah, the ratio.
I thought there would
way
be-
more.
yeah.
There's not like a no man's land. Like it's very close. There's also the
Do we have any stand wipers in here right now?
no.
No, I'm stand wipe.
I tried. I will
You-
admit that.
Wait, did you just say you're a stand
Not
wipe?
into
No,
it.
I'm not a stand wipe.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know that was a thing until told me that he's a stand wiper.
Yeah.
And I was like, you stand wipe? He's like, yeah, dude. Like it was normal. I was like, wait, is this something that I don't know about? And then I looked it up, and that's like a thing. Yeah.
Isn't that way harder?
I feel like
Because you're closing
Yes.
the.
I feel like you can't do that if you have like a bunch of cake back there.
What?
You know, like,
Cake like a big ass.
Your butt cheeking.
Oh, I
Like-
thought you meant like frosting.
No.
Okay, I hate this conversation. Can we please move on and play D&D?
Well,
No, because
One
now we have to
more.
talk
please
about.
edit all of this.
Now we
out.
have to
Little
talk
thing.
about the difference between the people that do front to back and back to front.
Nobody does
What?
back to front.
There are
to front.
so
Yeah,
that
well,
one.
some of
If
us
it's
are
a
risk
girl-
takers.
That one is a way more wider gap as far as like the ratio, as far as I know. But there
It'd
are
have to be.
back to front wipers.
That is terrifying. I
That's
remember
how
my
you
doctor.
get yeast infections.
That's how
If
you
you're a
get
woman,
UTIs
like
also.
that shit is.
They also, as far as I know, if
why
you
they
have
tell
a baby
with
daughter,
babies.
you
yes,
front to back.
to back.
When I was a little kid, my doctor was telling me
I
you
think I
have
learned
to
that.
wipe front to back
Yeah.
because I had another UTI, and I was like, I know the routine, doc. Like that was not the issue.
I feel like it was like one of the 3 Men and a Baby movies or Look Who's Talking that taught me that. And then for some reason that just, I was like, I'm going to need this knowledge. And it's just been locked away ever since.
Never.
I feel like I've said this before, but knowledge that I thought when I was a kid that I would need more often in life was to be very careful about quicksand.
I
Which has
was just going to say.
never happened to
I
me.
really thought
Not
I was
once.
going to encounter quicksand a lot more in my life.
that's
Just judging by the movies and shows that I watched. And I've yet to encounter
Happened a
it.
lot in the 90s. Like in all the movies, they're like quicksand.